Oseo.
Oseo.
Today I'm here to celebrate Woman Tide.
Yay.
Birthday of Woman. So I have some announcements I'm going to start with right off. As most of you are already, on board with this, Indigenizing Congress with Deb Holloman. And on Monday, February 11th, the National Congress of American Indian hosted its 17th annual State of Indian Nations address, and the congressional response was a historic one. As Representative Deb Holloman, Democrat, New Mexico, Laguna, Pueblo, one of the first 2 Native American women elected to Congress ever. Yes, and she's being interviewed by Indian Country Today, where I get this news from. She spoke about the strength of Native women, the experiences that she brought to her congressional seat as the 35th generation resident of New Mexico, and how she is going to indigenize Congress. I bet that's never been said before. Her own remarks, laughing. Well, you probably saw Trump's State of the Union. She said, she took her native blanket, and it was funny because we all wanted to sit together because we were all women wearing white. So we got a text message that said, go to the floor at 6:15 and bring something to save your seat. So she brought her blanket, and it was a way for her to identify, with First Nations, and for Native women to be able to identify with her as well. It's something that belongs to all of us, and I feel it was important for me to do that small thing that would help people identify with us and help them to know that the house belongs to them as well. I mean, look, we've been fighting for a long time, a long time. It's not like I need to hold people's hand, you know what I'm saying? We've all been carrying our own weight and the weight of our communities. We've all been fighting hard. I stopped to think about the work and perseverance of my grandparents alone, not to mention their grandparents. It's astounding to think that I'm standing here today because of them, because they protected our land, because they protected our culture. But they also moved into the modern era too. And because they felt it was important to give their children opportunities, and I don't take that lightly. In New Mexico, we could not vote until 1948. There are so many things that we've had to struggle with. When I take people with me, it's not like I'm dragging them along. They're ready to go, right? So, that starts it off. And, it was said that so many women, Native women, cried at, for the first time, they're represented. So that starts off. And up at Pyramid Lake, Beverly Harry, she's a Navajo woman, married to the former tribal chairman of Pyramid Lake, and she makes jewelry. We know her pretty well, and in her house she has some of Eric's beautiful ceramic art as well, and so forth. Well, y'all heard of the missing and murdered indigenous women. It's been going for a really long time. So she's trying to organize something about it, and this was last Tuesday. Within the past 2 years, the Great Basin Indigenous Women Rising, the Reno Sparks Indian Colony, the Great Basin Nations have worked to provide a voice for missing and murdered Indigenous women's awareness campaign. It shines a light on the intersectionality of racism and discrimination and the lack of justice on these cases throughout Canada and the United States. The MMIW, as she initials it, movement works to bring greater awareness to our community and target those individuals who can bring justice and support on these issues. It is our hope in sisterhood that a plan and a fundraising will be completed to develop an Indigenous mural in honor of our sisters within the Truckee Meadows. Your participation in donations for this silent auction items are appreciated. And so this was last week, with one more note on that particular issue. Demanding justice for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Thousands of Indigenous women and girls are missing or have been murdered within the United States and Canada. Complexities in law and social disparities means the majority of these cases fail to find any justice for the victims or their families. Join us for an evening to remember our stolen sisters and discuss solutions to end the violence. And then subsequent to that, I had my opportunity this week also. It was a couple of years ago. I had a show out there in Borrego Springs at the gallery or house of Borrego Springs of Elizabeth Rodriguez. Jim played for the reception there, and Randy attended, coming and going. It was a great exhibit. And so likewise, something for this, it's not Indigenous women, it's just women and girls in that community. And so she sent me a request also. She called it, how can I do this? Elizabeth Rodriguez Soroptimist International of Borrego Springs. Soroptimist International Borrego Springs enhances the quality of life in this community, making it a better place to live. Founded in '62, organization became a cultural leader in the local community. Our stability results from the loyal dedication of many volunteers and so forth. I ask you to support Soroptimist in a special way this year. So if you would like to donate your art and support us in the mission to help local girls and women. So it's the same kind of thing, and I appreciated her inviting me into that. So Friday, Claudia and I took my piece over there, and we couldn't stay for that. The auction was going to be that evening because we were going to get up early the next morning to go Baja. So, but I'm really honored to be able to have been able to participate in that and that kind of support. And you see, all this thing is just exactly coinciding. Excuse me. And also, this week, I received this from Vivian in Reno, and here we have another one. All of these women have been elected to the state of Nevada legislature. Again, yes. For the first time, you see the headline, Wonder Woman, and the Gazette, has done a full coverage on all of this. You see all of their pictures, and here, to mention their names are all here and their comments. State Senator Dallas Harris of Las Vegas. If I have anything to say about it, the first female majority is going to have a huge impact on the state of Nevada in a positive way by raising the level of discourse, collaborating, and getting things done as women are known to do. State Senator Melaine Schiebel, I think having a female majority is about changing the status quo and changing what is normal to us. For so many people, this is the first time they have voted, and they voted mostly for women to the legislature. That says that we are raising a whole new generation of new voters, activists, and leaders, and I think of men and women as equals. It can only be a good thing that we're moving forward. Salinas Torres of Las Vegas, I think it's going to have multiple impacts. We're showing women across the state that we can run and we can win and we can legislate. We come with diverse perspectives, and there are a lot of different issues that affect our population that don't affect men. Alexis Hansen, having women's insight, I think, into any issue is always an advantage. Hopefully, with such a diverse body of women in the legislature, all of us will have an opportunity to be heard and taken serious. Sarah Peters of Reno. We have different perspectives and perceptions and experiences that we are going to bring into the legislature. We talk about equity, we talk about unintended consequences. Those are conversations that women have in a different way than men. Shia Bacchus of Las Vegas. I think women naturally are communicators and problem solvers. So I think the laws that we enact out of our sessions will be well thought through. Connie Monk of Las Vegas. I think it's going to have a great impact. She was a retired addiction counselor, not only for female issues, but also for health issues, pre-existing condition issues. I think women are going to be able to work across the aisle. Melissa Hardy, I think that women overall have a different perspective. I think we bring a unique voice as mothers, business owners, and daughters. I think we are going to have a major effect on how the legislature is going to go forward. Susan Martinez, I believe the impact we can make is that our ideas can finally be brought forward. For many years, it's been controlled by men. Now we finally get to make those decisions. Rochelle Nguyen, I think it will have a great impact. I think it will bring a more diverse, unique perspective to the table. I think it'll be important to have that voice at the table, creating good law that is representative of our community. And Michelle Agorsklau of Las Vegas, I think it brings some fresh ideas to the state legislature and more voices, not just Vegas voices or Reno voices, but voices throughout our state. And lastly, Bess Duran of Las Vegas, I think it will open up eyes in other states. I think our state will reconsider women's opinion and move things forward in a positive way.
Hear, hear.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead here in my display. This is an array. This is an array to represent what I have been presenting for quite a while. And so I kind of selected this, and I'm going to start out just basically with a bit of this chant. Dona, 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 hear the voice below, the voice of grasshopper girl, in among the plants. Again and again she sounds, dona, 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 voice that beautifies our land, voice that beautifies our land. This is the representative for Grasshopper Girl, and she is the principal of parthenogenesis and germination. And so she is what makes female female. So she is, totally what's in all of this. And this one up here I'm representing as changing woman. She's the recessive double of changing woman. Changing woman is really the young woman in her puberty ceremony changes into her is what it really is. She changes in here, so it's both changing woman and the young woman who is changing into changing woman. And then here, in the puberty ceremony, depending on which group of people, but basically this would be white painted woman. Her face is painted and she's holding the spruce branch and the corn. These are her symbols as she is in her puberty ceremony. And here, this one is actually Ruth Buffalo, who has been elected to the North Dakota State Legislature for the first time. And so she represents, the political aspect for these women here. And here, this is the bud moon. February is the bud moon. It's the early spring, and the buds are coming out on our orange tree. So this is the bud moon. And I'll read something from that. And down here, if the camera can go down here, what we have is in my display. This is a puberty spirit rock here. And in Lakota, that is called Dunkun Ishnati. Everybody has their own name, for this this special rock. And in the puberty ceremony is also called in Navajo Kinalda, and in Lakota is called her buffalo ceremony. And the young woman is laying down flat on her back on her blanket, and this stone is warmed and laid on her lower abdomen here. Ostensibly, it will begin her period, her menses. And also, ostensibly, it means to ease her in childbirth when she gives birth. So that's a very particular stone there that I have brought here in the whole sense of this fertilizing woman at this time. And then this piece here, I think it's the Edward Curtis photograph, Hopi woman of long ago. Ho, ye sun, moon, stars, all ye that move in the heavens, I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth so it may reach the brow of the first hill. Ho, ye winds, clouds, rain, mist, all ye that move in the air, I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the second hill. Ho, ye hills, valleys, rivers, lakes, trees, grasses, all ye of this earth, I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the third hill. Ho, ye birds great and small that fly in the air. Ho, ye animals great and small that dwell in the forest. Ho, ye insects that creep among the grasses and burrow in the ground. I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the fourth hill. Ho! All ye of the heavens, all ye of this earth, I bid you all hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Make its path smooth, then shall it travel beyond the four hills. Whoa!
Uh-huh.